ولا تعجل بالقرآن من قبل أن يقضى إليك وحيه وقل رب زدني علما.
We return back to our circle of knowledge in this masjid, a house from the houses of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And it is a great blessing from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that a group of people come together, gathering in the house of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to learn about the religion of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, so that they will be able to worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala better, properly, correctly, as how it was legislated to be. And it was collected in Sahih al-Imam Muslim from the hadith of Abu Hurairah radiallahu anhu, that the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he said, مَا اجْتَمَعَ قَوْمٌ فِي بَيْتٍ مِّن بُيُوتِ اللَّهِ. There is not a group of people that comes together in a house from the houses of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, يَتْلُونَ كِتَابَ اللَّهِ, and they read the book of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, وَيَتَدَارَسُونَهُ بَيْنَهُمْ, and they study it. They study the book of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala together. إِلَّا, except that نَزَلَتْ عَلَيْهِمُ السَّكِينَةِ, tranquility will descend upon them. وَغَشِيَتْهُمُ الرَّحْمَةِ, and mercy will engulf them. وَحَفَّتْهُمُ الْمَلَائِكَةِ, and the angels will surround them. وَذَكَرَهُمُ اللَّهُ فِي مَنْ عِنْدَهِ, and that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will mention them to those surrounding him, Jalla wa ala. A hadith which is sahih, collected by Al-Imam Muslim in his Sahih, and it shows the fadl of ilm, it shows the fadl, the virtue of knowledge, and it shows that knowledge are to be learned in the houses of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, in the masajid. And it shows that a person is in need of bringing himself to those circles in person. It shows that he is in need for a person to bring himself to those circles that are reciting the book of Allah and learning the book of Allah together. It is upon a person to bring himself in person to study and to get into those circles to get the full benefit of what is known as talabul ilmi, what is known as the seeking of knowledge. And to achieve all of that was mentioned in the hadith. Nazalat alayhimus sakinah, tranquility will descend upon them. That is why, barakallahu fikum, you will find that those who bring themselves forward and study in person with their teachers in front of them, you will find them to have sakinah. You will find them as a person that is filled with tranquility. And what is understood is the opposite of that as well. Those who does not do that, they will not be filled with sakinah. وَغَشْيَتْهُمُ الرَّحْمَةِ, and mercy will engulf them, will envelope them. So those who study in person in front of a teacher, they will be filled with mercy. And that is why you will find them being from the most merciful of Allah's servants to the other servants. They are filled with rahmah. You will find them when they talk to others, they are filled with mercy. And they have mercy because they are engulfed, enveloped with mercy. And the opposite of that is understood as well. That's why you will find nowadays many youngsters who are learning through this website and so on, having no mercy at all. No patience, no nothing. No mercy. When they deal with other Muslims, when they deal with another person, is not filled with mercy. The dealings that they do is not filled with mercy. It is with harshness and such. وَحَفَّتْهُمُ الْمَلَائِكَةِ And the malaika what? Surrounds them. وَذَكَرَهُمُ اللَّهُ فِي مَنْ عِنْدَهِ The last one is one of the most important things, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will mention them to those that are around him. And everyone hopes that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions him with goodness. And everyone wants that. Naam? And we know that there is a worship, there is a deed that enables a person to be mentioned by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with goodness. And what is that? It is to seek knowledge in person, to go towards a circle of knowledge, and to sit and to listen, and to seek knowledge in person, barakallahu fikum, is a sunnah of the prophets. And the asal in that, the original ruling for that is Musa alayhi salam. Musa alayhi salam was the most beloved person to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala at his time. And he, a prophet, a nabi, a rasul, a kalim of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, a person whom Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala spoke to directly, he traveled. Correct? He traveled to who? To meet Khadir, and to learn and to study from Khadir in person. And the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, the most beloved person to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, even he has a teacher whom he sits with face to face and study from. That is who? Jibreel alayhi salam. And so it's a sunnah of the prophets to study in person. وَمَنْ يَرْغَبُ الْعِلْمَ يَسْلُكُ طَرِيقَ أَهْلِ الْعِلْمِ And whoever desires knowledge, then upon him is to take the path of the people of knowledge. The people of knowledge, barakallahu fikum, they do not sit at home and listen to audios and suffice themselves with books. Rather, barakallahu fikum, they attend the circles of knowledge in person. And we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make it easy for us all to be from those people.